The next question is about the circumstances of the quarantine. It makes people be afraid of things that used to give them strength and joy to life. For example, walking or meeting with family or friends. In order to protect their beloved ones, many are forced not to meet them. The fabric of life is torn. It looks like following literally the requirements of quarantine, a person goes against one's nature. What can people do to confront to this? How can they help themselves?
It must be reflected on the basis of reality. When we live together in the apartment, after 10 days, maximum 2 weeks, in quarantine, we don't infect each other anymore. We know the danger is over. And then we should come close and we should hug each other then. But as long as we do not know, because there is still the incubation time, that we have a possible infection of coronavirus and do not know it, this makes the coronavirus so dangerous. It is important also in family to be in distance, to use towels. Each person has their own towel, to keep the distance of 2 meters, better than 1 meter, um, and to wear masks, etc. All this. And it is, in my opinion, simply a question of information, what is needed to to apply hygienic measures to prevent an infection, also within a family. And this is a question of the first 2 weeks. And then it is clear. If there was an infected person, then the whole family must be tested and be in quarantine for further time. Sure. But if there was no infection, then after 2 weeks have normal social life within family. Those who live together, they are also, at least in our countries, allowed to go for a walk together, to not keep the distance of the physical distance, because we live together, we are not infected, so we do not infect each other. And so we can live as always and hug and kiss each other as before.
Mhm. But if somebody lives separately and he cares for some beloved one and he feels that he missed, he wants to touch, what can he do?
When somebody lives separated, alone, after 2 weeks, we know if he or she has an infection or not. And the other person for whom he or she cares, after 2 weeks, we also know if he or she has an infection or not. And if we do not have other connections with people, then we can give up the physical distance and care for each other and hug and kiss. But we have to avoid contact with other people. Otherwise, we can always be infected and not knowing. So this is important. So it is simply a question of management.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I see.
And if not, if the danger is too high, if we have contact with other people and care for one and don't live together, and even if we live together, if we have contact with other people, there is always a possibility that we can import the virus. And then we have to continue physical distance. And this is just a question of rationality and love for the other people to not be the source of an infection.
Yeah.
Especially when the person is in a risk group. When the person is not in a risk group, then it's not so difficult, of course.
Mm.
But if the person is 80 years or has a severe diabetes or asthma or so, don't play with any slow possibility of a risk.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.